Hello and welcome back to more Vintage Cube Draft. We got some cards with art not loading, but that's okay, we know what they are. This pack, what do we want to take here? Probably Fourth Year Lingus. The card's just messed up, and nothing else is even close, so we'll take that. Okay, pack 2. We could just take Flage, go that route. What else do I want to look at here? Because I think usually Fourth Year Lingus, like, you would just splash it in basically any deck, it's so busted. Flage does help us cut Boros a little bit heavier and keep us open. It doesn't really keep us open, but it helps us cut Boros heavier, and like, we already want to play this. I'm just gonna take this card. Man, these arts not loading is wild. Is there like a filter or something that you can click? Current booster? Not sure. I might pause it between this and try and see if I can get the arts to load. We're definitely taking Pyroglyph though. I'm gonna take some time to see if I can get him to come back. Alright, I have no idea. Magic Online does its own thing. So we'll see if we can get the arts. But this start is insane. I mean, this is like... This is what I'm talking about. The recently designed cards that are just insanely busted. All three of these fit that category. Honestly, I think Flage is the worst of the three. But like Pyroglyph... I'm sold on this card. I didn't realize it could hit anything. You can hit players with this. You can just 4 mana, boop. That's so messed up. Inti is really good. Stays in the colors we're in, kind of. Omnath is good, but pretty expensive. Uro is also pretty nice, but, you know, in green. Flame of Anor is cool. Interesting addition. Emperor of Bones, this is a card I need to keep remembering. Like, this card's busted. Because you play it, and then later on you can basically 2-mana Shallow Grave. Like it's also graveyard hate too, and you can exile with this creature, so you can steal stuff from the opponent too. So you can like Shallow Grave your opponent's creatures. It's kind of nuts. I think I'm gonna take Inti and stay open, but there's a lot of other good options here that I wouldn't fault anyone for taking. Thalia, this could be. I haven't taken Thalia in a hot minute. Thalia used to be one of the best cards in the cube before. Really, I think the change happened. I don't know exactly when it was, but like a lot of the busted cards now are creatures. Thalia used to be the most, like one of my favorite cards in the cube back when you're stopping your opponents from storming off, which Storm is dead in the cube. Oh, or like casting the busted cards like Time Walk, Ancestral, counter spells. All of that kind of doesn't matter that much anymore because like Flage, you know, Flage, Pyroglyph, all these creatures are really strong now. I think I'm gonna take this card doesn't really help. I'm gonna pick up a Volcanic. I honestly think Thalia is just not what she used to be. She's still good. She's particularly good in some matchups, like against artifacts, because you know she makes the Moxen cost more mana, but like. It's not that big of a deal anymore. Especially with Rishadan Port being gone. Because you used to be able to play like Rishadan Port Wasteland. Oh, there we go. We know what we're taking. Used to be able to go like Rishadan Port Wasteland, Strip Mine. There might have been one more. Deny your opponent's mana, make their stuff cost more. And that was like a really good strategy. That's just not there anymore. There's also Taiga. But we're likely to want to be white with these two good white cards, so we'll just take those. Deathgreater's Champion is really good. This card, it's interesting. It seems like it's not loading cards that have alternate costs, but this has Offspring. That's Kicker, I guess. This card's really good. Give something double strike. You can dash it out with haste, so it has double strike, so it could be like 4 mana, 6 damage to the opponent, or if you like, for example, have a Pyroglyph, give Pyroglyph double strike, it does 8 damage to your opponent. This does 4. It's pretty messed up. We'll take this card. Okay, new pack. I like Cathar Commando, and Portable Hole is pretty good. Soul Guide Lantern, also decent. But I'm going to take the Commando. I think this card is pretty nice. I feel like I saw one of the cards art load after it was leaving the pack. I don't know. If I put this into my sideboard and bring it back, do we get art back? We do. Wait, what the heck? Alright, the key is to sideboard your cards. Okay, the art's loaded here too. I don't know what's happening. Elspeth is busted, but Witch Enchanter is perfect. This is exactly the kind of card I'm looking for because it's just a land that is also a spell. So the fail rate on this card is, oh, you're not mana screwed anymore. And the upside is just really nice. This card's great, but it's a 5-drop and it's always going to be a 5-drop. And you just can't always afford to play that many expensive cards. Basically, the opportunity cost is very low here. Could this be time for Yuffie? She has an ninjutsu. She steals non-creature artifacts and attaches them to herself. We don't really have spells for Dragon's Rage Channeler. This isn't really a Wrath of God deck. So the only other consideration is Razorverge Thicket if we think we're going to see like Minsk and Boo, basically. I don't know. I've never played this card. I don't know if I'm going to end up playing it, but it's interesting at the very least. I guess like Fanatic of Ronus is another thing worth considering, but I will... I like Burn. Fire Blast is nice, but I think Phoenix might actually just be better in a deck like this. Giving Pyroglyph haste seems kind of sweet. Discarding Phoenix to Inti. I like all of that. Wow, okay. I'm gonna take Birds of Paradise out of this pack because if I'm playing green, I'm probably wanting this. There's a lot of Hex Drinker, sure. I should have taken green white, I guess. These cards are kind of nuts. Okay, green is wide open. White definitely is being cut, and red is okay, but green is like, wow. Good to know. We'll see what we can do with that information. Lelia is really good. Felia is also really good. Llanowar Elves. Renin 6. If I get like fetch lands and stuff, I'd be happy about that. Do I take Lelia? Lelia, we have... It's good with Pyroglyph. That's about it. Lelia is just good with everything, especially if we can get more elves to like ramp it out. The question really I have is, do I take the elf first and then wheel the Lelia? Because I don't think this card wheels, but this might. I think I'm going to take this. I think green is open, and we're just going to move in. Nissa who shakes the world. This is also swords to plowshares. I'm going to take swords here. I really need to prioritize fixing. I really regret not taking the green-white duel. I kind of knew we would end up being pushed into green. It's just, you can't really draft a mono element or mono color deck anymore. Like mono red is just not necessarily a thing because the hybrid cards are so strong. And then the busted cards from each color are also individually so strong that it's just really hard. Ooh, Jetmir's Garden. This fixes all of that. It's just Tamio's head. What? What is happening here? This makes actually... Oh, you know what? This does make sense because her head goes out of the frame. So they must load the image as card art and then her head superimposed on top of the art. Maybe the head is part of the frame, actually. That's funny. A little bit of insight into wizards. I'll take Jetmir's Garden, hope to wheel maybe an Orcish Lumberjack or a Goblin Rabblemaster, but triple on Colorland, pretty hard to pass up here. Eagles helps with our fixing because it can grab the garden. Ouroboros is cool. Double green might be hard, but like I think green is just, we're kind of being forced into it because it's so open. Invigorate. Like you can invigorate a Pyroglyph with a trigger on this deck, I guess. You can invigorate a Deathgreeter's Champion that turns it into like 0 mana, deal 4 damage. I think something like Chainsaw is still probably just better. Tarfire is also interesting. Do I have any Delirium stuff? Not really. I guess Flage. There's also Thraben Inspector. If I had any Wasteland Strip Mine stuff, I'd take Titania and just blanket complaint about what they did to my boy Glorybringer. I think it's Chainsaw, but yeah, I think with the elves, I want a Chainsaw here. Commercial District I like. Ooh. Oh boy. GTA is also insane. And Ursine Monstrosity also really good. I think I need the fixing, to be honest. GTA is great. The power level is really high, but the power level of this deck is already very, very high. Pyroglyph, Fourth Earlingas, Deathgreeter's Champions, Flage, Phoenix. Like, we just need to be able to play our cards, and this helps with that. So we'll take that. This is kind of fixing, but not the best. Guide of Souls is really kind of busted. I'll just take that. Unlikely we turn 1 it. but I think that's okay. Wow. Wow, 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 wow. Adeline, Temple Garden, even Sowing Myco Spawn's actually kind of good. Um, I wish I could play this card. I think this is one of the strongest threes. Double white's going to be so hard for this deck to accomplish. This is really interesting for me though, because like I thought white was being cut, and then this card shows up. I think I take a Temple Garden here just to again, the power level of my deck is so high. Let's just up the consistency a bit. And nothing we wanted wheeled either. Elvish Reclaimer's kind of bad. Baloth Prime, it seems terrible. Uh, the Healy doesn't really fit. The Fairy's not really in our colors. This thing's interesting. I guess I'll take the Reclaimer, but probably not playing it unless I get Wasteland. Okay. Nisu Shakes the World, get in the deck. Pretty happy about that. This card is messed up. She also lets us 4 through Lingus for just a ton of mana. Then we get an Orcish Lumberjack. We also get a Bristly Bill. Lumberjack can let us turbo out Nissa. Bristly Bill's just fine. We don't have any fetches either. I'll take the Lumberjack. Ouroborid. We can turbo out Ouroborid now. Actually, I'm kind of excited. I've never played with this card, and I want to. This seems fun. Okay, so white's being cut for sure, but we have like the good white cards to splash, so it's not that big of a deal. So we're basically green-red. We currently have 2 free, I guess kind of 3 free white sources off Eagles, but I really want to get a Taiga's gone. We want like Stomping Ground and Plateau. Volcanic's not doing a whole lot. Okay, this pack, uh, I mean, I could take it. I don't know. Is this a playable card? This card, you can play lands from the top of your deck and lands double trigger. We already lost GT. I'll take the Chocobo, probably not playing it. But it's sort of like a discount Courser of Crewfix that is a bird that can't fly. Uh-oh. Looks like Magic Online may have frozen. Alright, we're back. We're live. Art is loading. Never been a better time. Okay. This pack, Polluted Delta, can grab Volcanic. Currently can grab Volcanic, so that has potential, because we also have Scythecat Cub, so fetches are pretty good. Shifting Woodland can help. It not being a forest does sort of matter for Nissa. Flame Slash just for some good interaction. Might be the pick. We actually don't have a ton. I could take an Elite Spellbinder for hand disruption. I like Bloodbraid Challenger. And then Dismember. Maybe this is just better. Instant speed, any color. We'll take a Dismember. Okay, there's an Oko. That's a pretty good reason to run Volcanic Island. Fabled Passage. I love Deathrite Shaman, but I'm gonna take Oko. This card is busted. Noble Hierarch. Headliner Scarlet's so good too. Lightning Bolt, Noble Hierarch, Thundering Falls being blue-red helps. Digoth Triumph helps kind of. I'm gonna take the Hierarch here. She helps with my Oko mana. So does Birds of Paradise. I think we're dropping the white splash quite a bit if we can. Maybe not Cathar Commando. Maybe not Mana Tithe. It is like a pretty important type of fixing, but we currently are going to be getting a tapped land most of the time with like Eagles and stuff. And it makes it much harder to hold this up because they're going to want to play your white source. Ooh, that helps, I think. Verdant Catacombs can grab Jetmir's Garden and Temple Garden and Commercial District. Missing out on Delighted Halfling would be good. This card would be good, but we'll take the fetch. I just, like, if my opponent's playing red or if it's a creature mirror, maybe I'll bring in Invigorate, but I just, 90% of the time, it's going to sit in hand doing nothing. Like, yes, you can use it on the Ouroborid trigger, and that's cool. But if you have an Ouroborid in play that's triggering, you're already winning. You don't need an extra card to do that. Ooh, Generous Ent. Okay, the mana's looking a lot better now. Generous End, Sanctum, Staff of the Storyteller is really good, but sort of a splash. I'll take the End. The mana is good, but sketchy at the same time. I guess that's another reason why I like Dismember here. So if I could get a blue-green, that would be pretty nice. The Bant Trial would go pretty hard with these two. So right now I think we're 3 cards short of having enough playables, but we have. Oh, I could maybe play this card now. We'll see. Savannah's nice. 6 is really, really good. I like 6 a lot. Um, this card, no. It's between 6 and Savannah, and I think I'll take Savannah. This makes the white splash like, okay, we're fine. We can do it. I don't know about this card. When this creature attacks, you can have the base power and toughness of another creature become XX. So, like, if you attack with Noble Hierarch, I guess you couldn't do both of these, but if you attack with this and something else, they both become 4/4s. That's maybe good enough. I'm gonna put this over here if we need playables, that's there. Otherwise, Traveling Chocobo is a 3/2. So it's like a Courser of Crewfix with worse stats, basically. Because I don't, it's good with Scythe Cat Cub, I guess. Ooh, Stomping Ground. Ketria Triome. You can't grab off Eagles of the North. Dak Faden's so good too. Ah, I think the first untapped red-green duel is pretty important, so we'll take Stomping Ground. Springheart and Tuco. I mean, that's something, but I think Sunbaked Canyon again, just making sure we can play our stuff. Okay, so now we have all these things figured out. Elite Spellbinder I think is pretty nice. We have 1, 2, 3 ways to play it early. Do I have any Bloodbraid Challenger? I have one bad hit with 4th Year Lingos, but that's also a good top end. I think I'm going to take the Spellbinder. I think this deck can do it. The flying's also pretty relevant for like a bit of diversity. Deathrite Shaman. Galvanic Discharge is pretty good interaction. There's also a Ballista. This pack's pretty tough. I have Dismember, Swords to Plowshares, Chainsaw, Pyrogoyf. I think I like Walking Ballista or Aborted. I'm gonna take it. I don't know. Deathrite Shaman was a really good contender there as well. Seasoned Pyro versus Haywire Might. I'll take the Pyro. Wow. Delighted Halfling, Eternal Witness, Thornspire, Verge. I'll take the Verge here. Tireless Tracker versus Sanctum. I mean, we're gonna have no basics. I think I want the Tracker, actually. I might be able to play the Chocobo bird thing. So, Traveling Chocobo double triggers Tireless Tracker, Scythe Cat Cub, and that's it. That's kind of bad. We'll see what everything looks like. If I cut this, if I cut the Krasis, which Enchanter's a land? These both are effectively lands. That's 24 playables. 23. So 17 land with 3. Oh no, Pyrographs. That's not a land. So this would be 16 land, and I think I want 17 because I have so many sort of like utility land things. Although with 3 birds, Land of Worlds, Noble Hierarch, maybe that's not the case. Maybe it is. Maybe I ditch Yuffie, sideboard her. Oko's busted, Flage is busted. Tracker's okay. Detective's Phoenix, I'm honestly really not sure about. Maybe I cut the Phoenix. She's pretty good with Ouroborid. But I think this deck is strong enough where we don't need to play like situational cards. Just having something like a Seasoned Pyromancer could be better. Spellbinder, yeah, I think that's probably better. Unless I want the Traveling Chocobo. Are there any birds? I can cast Birds of Paradise off the top. This is a Phoenix, not a bird. Double trigger Scythecat Cub, double trigger Tireless Tracker. It's a 3/2 though. Those stats are really bad. We'll try it. Might as well try out the new cards. Alright, run it like that. Is this a bird? It is a bird. Okay, you know what? I got 2 birds I can play off the top. That's just synergy. Okay. And then 1, 2, 1, 1 is 4. I think I just add another. How many white sources do I have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. That's a lot. I think we do this. Run it like that. See you all round 1. Oh, right. We're playing against Pedro Paramo. On the draw, I'm going to keep this hand. It's not great, but it has all of our colors. It's got removal, ramp. I'm pretty happy about it. And an Ouroborid. So we want to lead on Temple Garden. That way we can hold up Swords to Plowshares fairly inconspicuously. And then, I mean, a turn 3 or a board would be kind of sick. I like this card. This card is probably my favorite, like, modern, recent card I've seen. The art's cool, too. Don't kill my bird. They're going to chainsaw my bird. Oh, you know what? We'll take an abrade. Much less scary than a chainsaw. Eagles of the North. Uh, I have plenty of mana, so I think we're going to play a tapped Stomping Ground here. And I could tutor with Eagles to grab a land to cycle next turn if I have, like, literally nothing to do. Robber of the Rich. So they have less cards in hand. So I think I will just Swords the Robber here. It feels kind of bad, but it stops them from drawing a card. Scythe Cat Cub. We can do that. Don't you dare monetize me. Okay. Um, let's go Volcanic. Grow that dude. Next turn, I guess I can't quite trigger Ouroborid because I have to play Ouroborid land before Ouroborid. They cycle Oliphant. You got it. They bolt the cub. Their removal's good, but that's a bolt that's not hitting Ouroborid. Do I want to cycle Eagles? I have 4 lands. I think I will. I have 4 lands. Let's wait. Inti's good. Well, we're just gonna go for it. Does this resolve? We've seen nothing but removal from our friends, but this is the type of matchup where 4th year Lingos just destroys them. This resolves. No, it doesn't. Path. Snapcaster. Tidebinder. Okay. So Inti can trigger Ouroborid, I think. Like you play Inti, attack with Ouroborid, trigger it. Dak Faden. Nothing. I don't think I have any artifacts for them to steal. So still good, but not like game breaking. They discard Flage. Wow, their deck is busted. Discard Flage Occult Epiphany. I like it. So I take 3 here. They're a red mana away from escaping Flage. Exile 5 cards, and they have 4 currently. I like that. Although killing Dak Faden would let them escape Flage, but honestly, maybe that's fine. I can shock in Witch Enchanter. Let's get down an NT. They Force of Will Inti, exiling Aberrant Oculus. So next turn they can escape Flage, kind of no matter what I do. Let's Witch plus Meadow play, shock this in. Death Greeter's Champion. I don't know if this gains Double Strike or not, but we're about to find out. Nice. Okay, we get to kill Dak Faden. Opponent gets a Flage, which is a huge problem for us. But if I can kill the Tidebinder with my own Flage, for example, Ouroborid will trigger, and then my things get crazy. Oh, they don't have red. Oh, they don't get a Flage. Okay, you know what? That's great. They need to hit another land, basically, for this to work. They... Alright. You draw Broadside Bombardiers. Fair enough. So... I'm gonna block here, and they're just gonna sacrifice it. I take 2. Maybe they don't know what Double Strike is. Okay, I don't know what that was. Aren't they just dead? Like, literally dead on board? What was that? Alright, Chocobo. That was the biggest throw I've seen in a long time. Just sacrifice. Maybe they didn't read it. I don't know. That was a huge throw from the opponent. Okay, well, their deck is busted. This actually is a decent Invigorate matchup because they had so much damage-based removal that I'll play the card. What else? Detective's Phoenix. They have a ton of removal counter magic. This could really help push through. Witch Enchanter, I didn't see anything I wanted to kill just yet, so I'll just run a Plains and... No, I don't think my life total matters that much. Things to cut. I don't know if this is... No, they're all pretty good. Chainsaw kills Tidebinder. I think this isn't really a Chocobo matchup. It's more of a Seasoned Pyromancer matchup. They have Force of Will, but at least this can make tokens. And then Chainsaw could be good. Inti's good. Champion's good. I mean, Invigorate's kind of spicy. Maybe this is just bad. They lightning bolt my guy. They're gonna do it on their turn most likely. I invigorate. It's not good. It's not good. Maybe it is. I don't think it's good. I'm trying to think of like what situations I would want it and then what situations I wouldn't want it. And the thing we have to do is like compare the two situations. I'm gonna keep this for sure. I mean, in this case, I play a bird, they bolt it, I invigorate. Maybe it's okay. Turn one robber the red is something. Okay, what do you got? Thornspire Verge. Guide of Souls. Um, hmm. I can play Guide of Souls this turn, and then play a bunch of creatures next turn. I might actually just go for that. Savannah. Yeah. Or I can go for Land War Elves this turn, and then next turn, Guide of Souls, Burst of Paradise, Orcish Lumberjack. Maybe that's actually even better. Because this one, I'm much more interested in them killing this than these. And here's the question: would I rather have Invigorate or like, I probably would cut Tireless Tracker, right? I could try and do this with Invigorate, maybe. Hex Drinker is not great. Is it just cast? Yeah, so they can cast a Hex Drinker. I don't love that. Take 2, down to 15. Do they Hex Drinker? Yes, they do. Duplex this guy. So if we had Invigorate, it could be alive. It's still a 1-for-1 trade. I don't know if it's that good. Um, Guide of Souls. They're down to 2 cards though. Like I can't really match them here. Guide of Souls down. My opponent just disconnected. I think at this point we kind of need Orcish Lumberjack here to come back. So let's play a Lumberjack. And we'll wait for my opponent to come back if they have in fact Nope, they're good. Okay. So they can max level Hex Drinker. I get to Fourth Ear Lingus for a whole bunch if they don't have Force of Will anyway. Well, unfortunately, my opponent disconnected and I win the match. So I was actually really interested to see how this game played out, but we'll never know. See you next round. All right, we are back. Round 2, playing against Toe Iman. I disconnected twice just trying to get into this game, so we'll see what happens. Magic Online is very much struggling, but this hand looks good. Provided we can load arts for forests and tireless trackers. I don't know what's going on over there, but I think my opponent probably round 1 disconnected due to Magic Online being all weird. But I get to go turn 1 elf and turn 2 tireless tracker, turn 3 Fourth Ear Lingos probably. That seems pretty busted. Okay, opponent could have Mana Tithe. Not really gonna play around that. I could, but nah, I'd rather just get this guy down. Play Tireless Tracker. Pass turn. And then next turn, Fourth Ear Lingos, Tireless Tracker, Clue Token is going to be kind of gross. Depending on what they have. They have nothing. They could have Reprieve. Let's shock this in. Maybe that'll play. Get a clue. They could have a Wrath. I don't know what they could have. Let's just force the action here. Fourth Ear Lingos. For 2. Okay. So they could have a Felia, and that's fine. They're taking so much damage here, and I still get to draw a card. It's like Felia and Cathar Commando, they could retake the Monarch, but then they're not blocking, right? Yeah, Felia, maybe I should have thought a little bit more. Felia's like okay against the Knight tokens, because they get to attack, blink the Knight token, kill one, but they're at 13. It's a lot of damage. I was thinking about keeping back a Knight token, but that would just be strictly worse, because if they have Felia, they just blink it, and I don't get to attack or block. Here comes Lelia. Oh, Fable of the Mirror Breaker. Okay. Doesn't do a whole lot for them. Do they kill? Oh, that's kind of cool. I don't know if that's actually better than blinking my tokens. Let them block. Oh, it is better, because then Felia gets bigger. Fair enough. Okay, we draw a forest. So I get to go forest, investigate, play Guide of Souls, play Noble Hierarch, Gain a life. Play Hex Drinker. Gain a life. Attack them with all of my stuff. And I'm not going to dismember. I definitely take back the Monarch here. If they block, I can crack a clue. And you need 3 for this, I think, yeah. Okay, these blocks make sense. Yep, we'll do that. We get the Monarch, they lose their stuff. No more tokens for them to kill with Felia. I'm going to pass with all my mana up here and then see if I want to dismember something. Inti's pretty good. So, little suspicious I didn't level up Hex Drinker, but if I did, they could just blink it with Felia if they really wanted to. They discard Elite Spellbinder and Luminarch Aspirant, so their hand is loaded. They're just kind of limited on interaction. They oust the Tireless Tracker. You got it. Gaining life's kind of nice. Does Felia gain the counter immediately? No, it gains the counter later. So I could, in theory, block with like Hex Drinker Llanowar Elves, but I think if they move to beginning of combat without any haste creatures here, like Broadside Bombardiers, obviously I would kill over Felia. So hopefully I don't have that. Skyclave Apparition. Okay, what are you targeting? Hex Drinker. Yep. So I think at beginning of combat here, I just kill Felia. I could like wait for them to attack and target this, but if they target something else, it's just too risky. There's no need to like be that risky. Mana Tithe is excellent in this spot. Let's go red, green for... Well, I guess I kind of have to discard it, don't I? I guess I crack a clue here. Oh, right. I knew what that was going to be. I could discard the Tireless Tracker. To be honest, that seems probably fine. Play Inti. Get the thing, make a giant Guide of Souls, or I can make a giant Noble Hierarch. Giant Guide of Souls does 1 more damage. This will be 1, 2, 3, 4 damage. Yeah, we'll do big Guide of Souls. Either way, they're having to spend removal on a 1-drop. Yep, grow the guy. 3, 4, 4, 5. Oh, it is 5 damage. Discard, Tireless Tracker. Give this trample. We hit Birds of Paradise. Good thing I kept back Noble Hierarch. They take 5. I get to go birds. I mean, this is pretty busted. I get to Mana Tithe any crazy 5-drops they have. Very inconspicuous use of mana here. They transform Fable. They might be able to take back the Monarch here. It's not a big deal. Oh, they're even talismaning into it. We love to see it. They just run right into it every time. Literally every time. Game-ending Parallax. That Parallax wave would have been really good, by the way. They never play around it, though. So, a lot of white cards. 2 important artifacts to kill. So I definitely bring or keep in the witch-based thing. Cathar Commando is also looking kind of interesting. They could have like a GT or something like that. Yuffie, I stole 1 artifact to steal. I'm not going to run it yet. I don't think we're chocoboing. Cankerbloom, kill artifact enchantment. I've never played this card or seen it played for like the 3 years I've seen it in Vintage Cube or whenever it came out. I think we're okay as we are. This hand's good. We got the Mana Tithe. Unfortunately, we're not on the play, but I do get to go turn 1 Noble Hierarch, turn 2 Walking Ballista Mana Tithe. Although I could try and Mana Tithe their turn 2 play, but then I have to shock in Temple Guard and be all like obvious about it, and I don't like that. I think it's better just to get down the Ballista. Talisman, you got it. Discharge the Hierarch. Alright, well now I'm going to shock in Mana Tithe, freak him out. Generous Ent. There's a very real chance that I just play that card. So I think I do this. I think what I was supposed to do is shock in Noble Hierarch off Temple Guard in turn 1, so it's not so obvious that I have Mana Tithe here, but maybe they just don't respect it. Yeah, Fable here. Makes sense. Pyroglyph is pretty good. So let's go Forest. Inconspicuous, holding up 1 mana here. Walking Ballista. No real way to like trade and kill the Goblin Shaman. They discard 2 lands. Okay, that actually kind of works out. So I get to shoot them. They get a treasure token, unfortunately. But at least I have 3 types for Pyroglyph. Do I think that I'm going to need... I really want to make sure that I can hit Nissa. But I have 2 draws. I think I'm going to hit a land. I'm not going to cycle a Generous End. Chainsaw is also pretty good. Mountain. I can Pyroglyph the Goblin. But I think I want to Chainsaw. Save Pyroglyph, save Mana Tithe, and this lets me Generous End for an untapped land, just guaranteeing that I get to do the thing. Turn 4, play the 4th land. Okay, this also lets Pyroglyph... I don't know why this is so big. Is this all graveyards? It's all graveyards. That's insane. Here comes Felia. What is this? Oh, create a knight with vigilance. Okay. So they have a lot of flash knight creatures. Or like flash 2/2s that I'll have to remember. This thing transforms. Turn off auto yields. I take 2. They have 2 cards in hand. They can play Ardenvale Feast or whatever Virtue of Loyalty, which is really good in their deck. I think I'm going to eat this treasure token because it's sort of permanent. This is like 1 mana destroy target treasure token. When they get that, they get to grow their team. Not great for us. Let's force cycle this. Grabbing. Don't have any double red. I'm thinking just Savannah. They get to grow their team. They have 2 cards in hand. Eagles of the North is also pretty nice. Okay, so if I play Nissa, she just kind of trades with their stuff. I think I just play Pyroglyph here. Kill Reflection of Kiki-Jiki. This thing is 5 damage. This card's crazy. Alright, Chainsaw up to 2. So I can spend 3 mana to give something +2/+0, which could matter for dealing with this. I am bringing in more enchantment removal because they have Fable, they have this, they have a couple things to kill. Okay, Parallax Wave. A little bit risky against Pyroglyph, but they're going for it. Pretty good against Nissa as well. But if I draw a way to kill this, like, that's not good. Dismember is very good. Nissa, get in there. Nissa, who shakes the world. Don't Mana Tithe me. Okay, Nissa's gonna untap a basic forest. They're gonna Parallax Wave the forest, and I'm gonna have to dismember the Knight token. No tax. It goes down to 3. Or is this exile target? Yeah, they can exile a forest creature. It's not non-land creature. It's any creature. Luminarch Aspirant. Oh man, are they targeting the Knight? This is -5/-5, so. Alright, I have to do this now, because this is the beginning of combat, so I might as well just... The instant speed of Dismember has been clutch, by the way. Chainsaw goes up. They don't have much time before Pyroglyph comes back. Just saying. They were smart in doing this before Luminarch Aspirant. But they only have 1 card in hand. This becomes a 3/3. Force to Plowshares is excellent. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So I want to tap and untap this forest, I guess. Do this. Yeah, I want to play Eagles here. Do this, untap here. Holding up swords in the most conspicuous way possible. Sure. They have 1 card in hand. Parallax Wave is ticking down, and we're gonna get a Pyroglyph. I'm gonna let them get a counter. They attack me. What do I do? Do I just chump block with Eagles? No, I guess I swords this. We'll see what they have, but I'm getting Pyroglyph back on their upkeep. Most like almost for sure. Alright, they just concede. There you go. See you in the finals. Hey, I'm sorry for the short interruption, but I just wanted to take the time to mention that I spent about 3 years designing my ideal card game, which is Algomancy. So if you like the way that I play the game, talk about the game, or view synergies, and you think that type of gameplay is something you could be interested in, maybe check out Algomancy. It solves the problem of first player advantage, solves the problem of Mana Screw and Flood, and there's no expensive cards. It's just a self-contained cube-like experience. You can cube draft with your friends. The other thing that it does really cool is you can cube draft 1v1. You don't need to get up to 8 people. And you can actually draft live in the game as well. So it's a really, really fun game that's based on just strategy instead of like getting lucky, hoping to draw the right cards. Um, it really allows you to make cool plays and win on those cool and interesting plays and synergies. So if you're interested at all, go to algomancy.io, give it a check. Otherwise, just keep enjoying the videos. All right, we're here in the finals against Crocolone. I'm gonna keep this hand even though I don't love it. We get a turn 1 Orcish Lumberjack. We can turn 2, we'll have 5 mana, which is enough to Walking Ballista, Pyrogoyf if I need to, or just play Cathar Commando and not use Orcish Lumberjack. My opponent mulliganed to 5, and they play a Tameo. Which is sort of like you didn't mulligan. Let's go Stomping Ground, shock it in, play the Lumberjack. Hope they don't daze me. The thing, Tameo's being an 0-3 is ridiculous. I can't even Walking Ballista it reasonably. Attack, get a clue. Okay, this is going to be tough. Generous End. Then we got a couple options. None of them great. I can Cathar Commando and then Walking Ballista for 6 next turn. Maybe that's the best. So we're gonna hold up mana. So let's just attack for 1 here. I could also just cast a Generous End, I guess. Actually, I could hard cast Generous End next turn. That's something interesting. We'll shock this in so we can Cathar Commando. I'm not... If they counter Cathar Commando, then they're not countering my 6 mana play. I'm actually kind of okay with that. Prismatic Vista enters untapped. So my opponent has basically unmulliganed from Tameo. That's how good this card is. Ponder, you got it. What did they do with Ponder? They did not shuffle. So they kind of maybe want the card on top. It's hard to say, right? Because they have a fetch. Dismember definitely helps the situation. What do I want to do? I have 6 mana. I can go tapped Commercial District, big Walking Ballista, Dismember Tameo. I think I'm using Orcish Lumberjack this turn, so let's attack with Cathar Commando. I will have done 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 8 damage to myself this game so far. Let's go Commercial District tapped. See what's on top. Forest we don't need. Pyrogoyf does 2 damage currently. I'm probably going to sacrifice Commercial District. So I don't think it matters too much what I do here. But let's attempt to dismember. Yeah, because then I'll have 4 left. Attempt to dismember Tameo. That resolves. I will play a big Walking Ballista here. Red, green, green. Cast. For 2. Okay. Suddenly Pyrogoyf is absolutely massive, and it can kill almost anything they play. Containment Priest. So I can kill that. I'm not that worried about it yet. They don't attack. Alright. Sounds good to me. We draw a land. We'll go Forest. Am I okay trading Ballista for Containment Priest? I don't think so. I can go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I can Pyrogoyf and hold up Cathar Commando. I guess we do that. Red, red, green. Play Pyrogoyf. Crack a clue. I like that. I'm tempted to hit their face almost, but I think we just kill the priest. Hit you for 5. They play Felia. Okay, so in this spot, we just kill Felia. Don't give them any decision to block because they could just block Walking Ballista. And then we're in the same spot we were before. Like, basically, they can decide to trade they could decide not to trade. So we might as well just force them to make some decision because one decision might be better for them than the others. Overlord of the Mistmoors makes 2/2/1 creatures with flying. The card's huge. Yeah, you got some insects. Do I kill it with Cathar Commando? I don't think I need to yet. Hornspire Verge. Control mountain or forest. So I can play Generous End. Let me attack for 5 here. Do that. Let's go Thornspire Verge. Sacrifice Stomping Ground. And this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Green, green, green. Play you. Make a food. It has reach. Great. 2 big creatures. Maybe I am supposed to just trade with the insect, because then I kill them this turn. I guess I still kill them this turn, because I have 2 5-power dudes. Not with Teferi out. They oust my Pyroglyph. Okay. A little bit scarier, but I have Cathar Commander to deal with Overlord. Comes down pretty quick. Eagles of the North. Honestly, I feel like Eagles might be better than Generous End because it gives this dude first strike, so I can actually attack with it. Although Generous End doesn't have Vigilance. 3/3 flying is better than 2/2 flying. They have 1 card in hand. Alright, we're going for it. White, attack this. Green, green, green. I think it's Eagles. This lets me actually attack this turn. Attack you for 4. And then that puts Pyroglyph as a lethal top deck at basically any time, right? Because they ousted me, so this is a forced trade. Or not even trade, just chump. They have 1 card in hand. I have lethal attackers in play right now. They drew something. No, they didn't draw anything. They uptick to Fairy. A Wrath would be kind of annoying. Okay, so Pyroglyph is lethal, but so is all of this. So let's force them to trade here. Or kill something. Attack with everything at them. Okay. easy lethal. What did they have? A bunch of blink stuff, a bunch of flying creatures. I think just a little bit of removal I have should hopefully get us there. This Dismember has been a great pickup. So much better than Flame Slash would have been. And here we have not a great start. Not a terrible start. No acceleration. No untapped Mana Tithe. 4/3 Lingus on the draw. I'm going to keep this though. They play Spirewolf Canal, pass. Alright, let's play Jetmir's Garden. Sort of inconspicuously setting up for a Mana Tithe on maybe a Teferi or something. It's not very inconspicuous when you're playing Hexdrinker and not leveling it, I guess. But if we can go, if we man, oh, this is so good actually. Guide of Souls. Well, I think it's better to not play it because if I can Mana Tithe a 3 or even a 2 that they play here, and then untap and 4/3 Lingos, it's pretty good for me. Of course, they almost certainly have something here, but like countering Felia is huge, I think. Okay, they don't have Felia. They don't have anything. Oh my gosh. We're going to Mana Tithe the 3 and then 4/3 Lingos. It's literally a game-ending play. That's why this card is so good. Like, it doesn't really matter what it is. You just counter it. Maybe I actually should have waited, but I think I just tap out for 4/3 Lingos, and then I'm so far ahead, right? Mountain. Do this. White. Maybe not. Maybe I go... Because I can Orcish Lumberjack into an even bigger one. They didn't show that much counter magic. This could be really, really greedy. I think it's too greedy. I get a 2/2, haste it out. Next turn is so good. Alright, we'll play it safe. It's like safe and greedy at the same time. Because the Lumberjack here goes crazy. I don't think they are quite playing the kind of deck that would play Wrath of God. Level up Hexdrinker once. Attack it for 2. And then I get life off this. I mean, this is going to be... Yeah. It's going to be gross. If they Wrath, it's bad. Okay, that's not... Yeah, that's not it. Sorry, opponent. It's been nice knowing ya. Okay, Scythe Cat Cub doesn't matter. So we have a couple options. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 mana. So I can sacrifice a forest. So I can 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I can play Nissa here and then have 1, 2. Right, I can untap a land and attack with it. Or I can just Fourth Earling us for like a million. Like, I don't know how they come back from that with Guide of Souls out. Yeah, I don't know how you do that. So let's just do that. This is why we take this card so highly. I mean, like, it's pretty good. Let's attack. Are they? They're not dead. This can only trigger once. So am I okay trading this for an insect token? Not really, because I can give something else flying next turn. So yeah, we attack like this. I want to pay 3, yes. Put the counters. This is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 damage. Hex Drinker 4, 2. They'd have to double block it to kill it, so let's do that. They single block the Hex Drinker. We get the Monarch. They're at 9. Alright. Very few cards can come back from this. Parallax Wave would definitely be one of them. Wrath of God would be pretty good, but they would take the Monarch and then Wrath, so that would be kind of bad. Alright, Teferi's not that scary. Scary Teferi. Man, this art is crazy. Look at this moth, dude. I like that a lot. Big fan of that. Okay, they bounce Hex Drinker, draw a card. They're taking a lot of trample damage currently. Okay. There you go. That was one of my like most clean trophies. Round 1 was kind of disappointing. I wanted to see how that game went, but like take the busted cards. Yeah, it's disgusting. And yeah, this deck was just really good. We didn't even get to see, I don't think I saw Oko in a pack or like in my hand ever, but I think that game hopefully explained why you take this card. I just had 5 mana and this ended the game effectively on its own. I mean, Guide of Souls helped a little bit, but this did like 8 damage, drew me a card, and then was going to do 8 damage and draw me a card the next turn. And that's for one card is insane. And it would keep going. And it scales. It's not even like you can spend 5 mana to do that. I was considering spending 3 mana to make a 2/2 and draw a card. And if you have more mana, it literally ends the game. This card's busted as heck. Interesting discussion about Invigorate with this deck, I think. Like, I don't think there's a spot that it would have been great. There are some spots it would have been good. Like when match 1, my opponent like bolted my birds, I would have maybe liked to have Invigorate in my opening hand. But just because it can be good in some situations doesn't mean it's worth having in the deck because you're not always going to have it in your hand in those situations. And most of the time, it's going to be pretty bad. Like you're trying to, oh, I hope I draw a threat. I draw Invigorate instead of something that kills my opponent's creatures. Even like Mana Tithe, right? It's just, it doesn't seem great, but I'm open to it being potentially good in some matchups. Thanks for watching. See you next time.